Is it prime time in Dallas, Texas? Boy, Jerry is good at this. Boy, Jerry is good at this. We got headlines, baby. It's Cowboys coaching search time. DLLS Cowboys podcast starts. Meow. Headlines, baby. Jerry Jones wins again. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Who's ready for Coach Prime? Huh? You ready? Does that excite you?
I just got a question. Who came up with that little headline right there?
Elijah did.
What is that a playoff of?
What do you mean?
What do you
I
mean?
didn't see what it was. What was it?
Deion does Dallas?
Oh, Debbie. Is that a
movie?
Was that a porn?
Yes.
Elijah is pure. What are you talking about?
What's that a playoff of? Debbie does Dallas.
To the pure, all things are pure, and Elijah is pure. He would never do such a thing.
Oh, wow.
This is a holy establishment.
Well, why did you know that, though?
Why do you think
it's
he
like
knew
one
that?
of the legendary old school
You still watch?
Porn.
things. No, I'm just saying it's one of those.
If there's a word you're uncomfortable saying, you just pronounce it a little differently. But whatever. Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. Thank you
Never mind.
for being here.
That's what I thought about. What?
Never mind.
That's what mine said.
I was gonna say
Hit
that.
the like and subscribe buttons. My name is Jeff. And I'm seated next to former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holly.
Oh, Jesse Holly went 77 yards.
Couldn't make it 79.
It must be a reality
Only
show.
78.
You only needed one
I
more?
only needed one more. I only needed
Jesus,
78.
Jesse.
I only needed 78.
Oh, and you were so giving God the glory. You couldn't have been like, bro, one
You could
more.
die. You could die. You could die.
That was
You
it.
saw the ball went in one hand, but he wasn't real sure if he was going to reach or if he was
That was
celebrating
it.
or if
Did
he
you look
was.
back? Did you look back?
He was.
I heard him.
He didn't know.
back, though.
Really?
If you look at the run,
Hear them
once,
feet.
anytime you know, and you know this, you're around track and field a lot.
Yeah.
When the head goes back
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this,
yeah.
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah, you're
done.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Look at me when I get to about the 27. When I get to the 27,
Done.
the back of my helmet is touching my nameplate. I was hoping he stopped, and
Yeah.
I was gonna let that thing ride right onto the end zone.
People don't realize football players, like you practice and you run and all that, no one's ever ready to go 80 or 90 yards.
Especially
Ever.
when you're just not used to it. Like when you get
No.
thrust into a game, you ain't play all game long, and they're like, yeah, by the way, run 78 yards with the game on the line.
I got 77.
I
for
got
you.
77. Dan Bailey, you up.
Next to Jesse is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Clarence Hill.
Oh, no. No. All that goodwill that you put out there.
He did. You did.
You did put shame on his
Put
name.
shame
I'm
on
just
him.
relating. I'm like, where's that play? Because the play on words that came from somewhere.
Next to Clarence is the new greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
He gets the proper thing
Yeah, that's
played.
right.
So y'all excited about prime time or what? Coach Prime, baby.
I'm already over this coaching search.
I have a
am
plea
too.
to Jerry.
I'm already over it.
Go ahead.
I'm already over it.
Jerry, please do it. Please do it.
Look. Okay, I'm not gonna say his name, but about Uncle somebody,
Why are you not going to say it?
because it's Uncle Creamy.
You said it.
Well, now you say it.
My healthy curiosity over Debbie.
Okay. I have
Yeah.
to call time out on the show because
The
you're something I
reason
had to tell
why I'm a
Clarence.
Cowboys fan. I didn't
Something
do
I have
it.
to tell Clarence.
I said, don't do it.
I am not professional enough, focused enough. My brain does not work in a way
My
that is
bad.
good enough to try to be responsible for keeping something on track. I break things.
I'm
You cannot be breaking things.
I'm sorry.
Because I will never bring it back.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's what I'm here for. I'll bring us back. I'll get us back on track.
I'm sorry. That was funny to me.
I want to tell Jerry, please hire Deion Sanders. Like, just let's lean in, baby. If we're going to circus it up, Go get elephants, trapeze artists. Let's do the whole thing. If there was ever a reason for your cheap self to pay extra for a coach, pay Deion's buyout, bring him in, let Clarence have fun at press conferences. Let's just do the whole thing. Let's do it all the way. I'm in.
I mean, I'll tell you what, though.
Let's do it.
We didn't lead with Mike McCarthy interviewing with the Bears this morning.
Oh,
Neither
did
did ESPN.
Did he interview?
Oh, he's scheduled to interview with the Bears today.
Oh.
Exactly. That's my point being. So,
Jerry and Deion trading a text led the NFL playoff game pregame last night that Deion and Jerry talked. Jerry's good at this, y'all.
Get Up on ESPN talked for 20 minutes. They opened the show with 20 minutes of Deion, will they, why won't they? And guess what we're doing here, guys? We're talking about, will Deion be the next coach of the Cowboys? My gut says no.
And it was not an interview.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
it's not an interview.
Oh,
We're not even,
tell him.
It was a
Rooney Rule's not done.
Tell him something, Clarence.
It was just a phone call, a check in. It might have been just, hey, how your kids doing? But we talked on the phone. And then, obviously Deion puts out his statement, or
Masterful.
to Adam Schefter.
Masterful statement.
A masterful statement.
The amount of internet detectives.
It was a perfectly said statement. I can't.
Yeah, it was a great statement because it seemed like it wasn't over yet. Like you were waiting for the
something that never began.
And I'd be interested, or but I'm obviously staying at Colorado. Like his statement stopped in the middle of a statement where he was just like, "It's cool here."
Yeah, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say he wasn't taking a job.
That's what I mean. It seemed like a statement that wasn't done yet, which makes it perfect.
Yeah.
Here's why it'll never work here with Deion.
Oh, you jerk.
Yeah, I'll be the guy.
I hate you.
No, we're all. I think.
Well, I mean, there's zero chance, but I just wanted to start with, please, Jerry.
No.
Please do it.
And here's why. Deion, if hired by the Dallas Cowboys, will become the biggest star in sports in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jerry is okay with stars that put on helmets for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. For him, that is profitable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And profit he loves.
Mm-hmm.
What Jerry would not be able to handle is the ego that would be stripped down to the bare bones, because we wouldn't want to hear Jerry postgame.
No, he's second fiddle.
The Netflix will go to Deion. The interviews will go to Deion. The TV cameras will go to Deion. I wasn't here in the 90s. Only one of us up here was old enough to say that they were here reporting and covering the Cowboys in the 90s. I won't point any fingers, and I won't say who.
I was one of the few people Deion talked to.
But in that time, the Cowboys broke up that great dynasty because Jerry had an issue ego-wise with people saying that this team was Jimmy Johnson's team.
Yeah.
You think, and I like Jimmy Johnson. I met him a couple times. Seemed like a good dude to me.
He stole your idea the other day.
He did steal my idea the other day.
Yeah.
I put mine out like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. He came after me and said what he said on his show. But that's all.
Because he's following you.
That's
Credit your sources,
I
Jimmy.
need to go check my followers.
Screw you, Jimmy.
You think that Jerry will be able to his ego will be able to handle the fact that that everybody wants and clamors to Deion Sanders?
Are you underestimating his ego?
No,
In Jerry's brain, do you think that he thinks that Deion would be the bigger draw?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does.
He knows that.
Yeah,
I would
he
say
does.
that.
He's Jerry MF and Jones.
I will push back
It's a
on
fair
that.
question, but
Just like I'm going to push back. Yesterday you said Jerry's not hiring a black man.
South African American.
African American.
Yeah, make sure you get it right,
Hey,
Clarence.
look.
I think I think he would hire Deion.
No, he wouldn't.
I think he would hire Deion.
if he could, but he wouldn't
I
because
don't think
he would.
it's gonna happen, but I think that
He
would
would.
he would hire Deion, and I think
Elaborate.
he could. I think
Why?
because it's Deion, because of their relationship.
That's not enough. It's because
No.
it's Deion?
Yes, because of their relationship together. Just piggybacking on what you're saying about he couldn't handle Deion. I think Deion and Jimmy are different. I think that there's something about
You're not dimming Deion's light. No one is going to
and I don't
dim
think he
Deion's
wants
light.
to dim Deion's light. He understands that.
And Deion is not taking when if
Deion's not taking you're right.
If Deion takes this job, it's not going to be a collaborative thing.
It won't be, but the eyeballs that Jerry covets, the Netflix cameras that Jerry covets,
They won't be on him.
They will be on the Cowboys. They will be on.
That's what-
They're like you talk about the president. It will be crazy. Jeff talked about the circus. That's what he covets most.
They would be coming to see Deion.
They
This would be about Deion.
They
It
would
won't
also be
about
filling
Jerry.
up the coffers of the Cowboys continually.
That's already
They would-
happening. We
but
just
they-
talked about it. We just talked
and-
about it to open this show
Because
that the Cowboys were 20 minutes opening.
Because of Deion.
I got in the shower this morning. I got in the shower.
Hey, don't tell these people that.
I did. I washed up.
Try to get people fired up this early.
And I use a wash rag.
You did use a wash
And
rag.
I use a wash rag. And I use a
That's
wash rag.
disgusting.
I use a.
You-
I
use a wash
have a
rag.
2-sided wash rag. I
That's
have one
nasty.
You
side.
raw dogged a wash rag?
That's nasty.
No. One side is like the terry cloth. The
That's
other side is an
nasty.
exfoliator. 2-sided washcloth. But I
No.
do use a washcloth.
You better wash the hell out of that washcloth.
All you nasty folks who don't use washcloths.
I used the bar. of
Listen,
soap.
I forgot what I was about to say. No. Oh, I got in the shower, washed up, manscaped, got out of the shower,
Yeah.
and they were still talking about the Cowboys.
You manscape in the shower?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not using anything electric in there.
No. You get a woman's razor
Okay.
because they have they always have the ones for the
Okay.
sensitive areas.
Jerry,
And
please
y'all
hire
say I
Deion.
get us off trick.
Jerry, please hire Deion. Can I hit the super chat? We had a super chat right up here.
did.
Brian Johnson. I swear if Jerry hires Deion, I'm instantly Team Tank. Welcome to the S Show. The roof will be open for every game to accommodate the egos. Come on, man. Look, I gave up on Super Bowls. Let's have fun. Let's just be team content, you know?
Yeah.
Jerry already kind of is. Just lean all the way in. Pay the $8 million, which Jerry absolutely won't do, to get Deion out of his contract. Pay him the salary you've got to bring him in, which Jerry absolutely won't do. And let's just, Jerry, you would make even more money. You would make so much more money. You would have even more eyeballs. Deion could actually take the biggest brand in sports and elevate it. No other coach could do that. Let's do it. Let's just F around.
But it's not
Screw
gonna,
Witten.
but it's not going to happen.
Let's have fun.
It's not going to happen. And we were sus about this from the
I
beginning.
want to have fun.
But it's not going to happen, Jeff.
But I want to have fun.
Because you talked about it. He's not going to pay an $8 million buyout to
Nope.
Colorado. Not going to pay $6 million for Sark. You'll probably hear his name throughout this. It's not going to happen. He's not going to pay for Lincoln Riley. I think it's like $88 million. That's not going to happen. The other thing
What
too
about
is
Belichick?
Belichick's $10
$10
million. He's
million,
not going to
baby.
pay it.
Do
And
us a
he's-
favor. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Jerry.
Would you-
Go
Are you
down
going to pay that
Chapel
$10
Hill.
million?
I'll add to the mix. I got 5 on it.
And
Let's
NIL
see.
fund
I got 5
going
on
to
it.
the buyout fund for Bill Belichick. But
I
it's
got
not gonna
5 on
happen.
it.
Like you can tell Jesse doesn't want him to coach his college team, and you can see who he cares more about as he's trying to force him on the Cowboys.
If the Deion didn't have a buyout, if the Cowboys had the number 1 pick and they didn't have a quarterback, maybe we'd be talking about this as a possibility. Hey, you bring in Shedeur, you bring in Deion, let's ride, right? That's not going to happen. One, you can't trade Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, people. He has a no-trade clause, and his buyout
It's not-
or his
It would hit your
his
cap for
hit-
over $100 million.
That's
Right.
not going to happen either. So you can't get Shedeur, you can't get Deion. It's not going to happen.
Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry.
Why
I just
and let's keep it real. I mean, Deion.
I don't want
this is I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah.
You know, Jerry's helping Deion right now. He's
Oh,
in the
Deion's
middle.
gonna
Of,
get a raise.
he's in the middle of the
No,
contract
100%.
negotiation. he
Yeah,
has
yeah,
a
yeah.
contract
Sark's gonna get a
offer
raise.
on the table right now that he has not signed
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
Colorado.
They're going to change those numbers.
Yes, this,
Yeah, they're gonna
this,
change
this
those
helps them
numbers.
change their numbers for
Yeah.
sure.
The guy who reported the Deion thing shares a marketing agency with Deion and Shiloh and Shedeur, and these things go that way sometimes. But don't worry about that.
That's the guy who initially reported. Everybody else confirmed it.
Right.
so
The guy who
it's-
first
But
reported
also,
it.
what do
Yeah.
we? This is why the thing about media that is funny is So
It
Schultz
better be funny.
It better be funny because Schultz comes out there and reports, "Hey, they've had conversations." Right? I don't think Schefter or any of them would even be on this if Schultz didn't have that initial report, or they'd be thinking it's big a deal. But you have to report it when someone else has reported because you got to confirm what's already in the ether.
That's my fun. That's what's funny to
That's
me
what's funny,
about the media people.
It better be funny.
Y'all you people,
Yeah.
the media people. It's
Well-
like once something is out there, Schefter's on TV and he just has to throw Deion in because it's like,
100%.
I don't know, somebody else said it. I better,
Well-
right? Just in case it is. I
Yeah.
want to
you,
say,
I mean,
yeah,
you,
it could
gotta
be.
cover all your
got,
bases.
you got to
Right.
confirm it. You got to confirm it, but he went a step further. He got a quote from Deion, so it wasn't just he confirmed.
No,
it.
yeah.
he went a step further. And Kevin Gray, you're wrong. The $52 million buyout for Sark is if they fired him.
Right.
If he left on his own, is $6 million and 25.
Yeah. So those are numbers. I had to learn that lesson over the last few days. Of the numbers are way different if the coach wants out than if you want to fire him.
Right.
But
Contract
Jerry,
is
go
funny.
ahead, buddy. Let's do it. I don't care if we win a single game. By the way, Jerry did win his Super Bowl yesterday or over the weekend. The Packers-Eagles game got like 7 million less viewers than the Packers Cowboys game on the same weekend.
Wow.
So Eagles, you might be better at football and you might have beat the Packers. Jerry won his Super Bowl. More people watched us. Coming up next, well, we're going to keep talking about the Cowboys head coaching opening is what's going to happen, and maybe some Deion stuff. And how good is the Cowboys job? All those things next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
The East-West Shrine Game is coming to Texas right here at AT&T Stadium. America's oldest college football all-star game is back and being held in Texas on January 30th. Be a part of history, making the 100th East-West Shrine Game Bowl at AT&T Stadium since 1925. The game has benefited Shrine's children and a mission to provide innovative pediatric specialty care to improve and transform the lives of children. Some of the nation's top college football players in head-to-head competition ahead of the NFL's draft. Some of the largest names in football have played in the East-West Shrine Game. Names like Tom Brady, Paul Hornung, Walter Payton, Roger Staubach, Lawrence Taylor, Doak Walker, and more. Popular NFL players like Brock Purdy, Isaiah Pacheco, Zay Flowers, and also played in the 2022-2023 game. You even have a couple of Cowboys alum playing in this game. Brian Anger, Rico Dowdle. The East-West Shrine Game has served as the starting point of many notoriety for careers. So head on over to head over to shrinebowl.com. Tickets are starting at $20 right now. January 30th. Get 50% off by using our promo code DLLS.
Yeah, buddy. So go do that. It's great. Also, shout out to our friends at Rugged Road. I don't know if you guys know this, but I like coolers. I love coolers. It's about crawfish season. I can figure out how to use that. Really? I could probably use that cooler to, I was at I went to a bar. I didn't go to the place that said they have crawfish because I make them better than they do. But I saw we have crawfish, which I was like, oh, crap. That means it's season. And I'm going to go get some.
Do you season your, I don't know. Okay.
I could make better crawfish than any you've ever had in your life.
You do season it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd use way more than is recommended.
Okay.
I soak for longer than is recommended.
Okay.
I'm going to bring heat.
Okay.
I'm going to bring heat.
We got some season on it.
You'll keep it cool in the Rugged Road cooler, though.
Yeah. I keep it. I could use that as my rinse station to get them ready. But Rugged Road is the best coolers on the planet. Use the promo code DLLS at ruggedroadoutdoors.com. That'll get you 10% off on the finest coolers in all the land. Shout out to Rugged Road. So Troy Aikman said yesterday on the pregame on the Monday Night Countdown that the Cowboy job wasn't a good job, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to deal with the crap, and that ain't fun for anybody. And I did see on The Athletic, I think they did a poll of NFL executives and front office people or whatever, and they called the Cowboys the best job of the jobs available. And I do wonder, who do you think is right? Is Troy Aikman probably has more knowledge of the Cowboys situation than a lot, and he's like, yeah, I wouldn't really call it a what do you say?
Coveted.
A coveted.
So both are right.
Yeah.
Both are right.
Yeah.
Both are right.
It depends on the parameters.
I think it's coveted to some.
It remains coveted to some.
And not coveted in any way, shape, or form to some. Like, for instance, if Deion Sanders had no ties to college and was open to do whatever he wanted, I think he would prefer the Cowboy job over any job in the country. Yeah. If Ben Johnson had his choice of any coaching, Cowboys are last. Yeah. It depends on who you are if you covet it.
Yeah.
So Troy Aikman doesn't view it as a coveted job because Troy Aikman would want no part of it.
Well, it's personal for Troy.
Yep.
And so you can't take the personal out of it.
But he loves the Cowboys.
Yes, but because he loves it like your family, you expect more from your family. You're more disappointed when your family lets you down, and he feels let down. He go back. I remember.
So there's no truth in what he said?
From his perspective, I mean, it's his truth.
Okay.
That's his truth because
I share your truth.
Yeah, and you share his truth. That's fine. It's his truth.
53 Jesse Hollis.
From what you have to deal with, he's right. And Jerry and Aikman is he was the advocate of Mike McCarthy staying. Yep. He thought Mike McCarthy should stay. So he's disappointed how all this thing went down and just how they do business. He's been very critical of Jerry Jones. This is not the first time. You go back to the 90s when he was ripping Jerry about Barry Switzer. And he talked about, I wrote a children's book on Troy, and I interviewed Troy, and Troy said that.
You wrote a what?
Wait. Yeah,
a children's book?
Yeah, with
on Troy?
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 Yeah, for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Do you have the book? Can I get a book?
Yeah. You can go. Yeah.
No, from you. I'm not buying it.
All the stuff that you buy on the internet,
hey,
you can get
AirPods
random
for him,
time,
but you can't buy his book?
You don't buy.
I bought him AirPods. He didn't get me his children's Troy book.
And we'll get that. But anyway,
Clarence Hill, Troy. I gotta look this
Yeah,
up.
I was just I didn't know
but
this.
but the bottom line is Troy said that he was more disappointed in how they fell apart than excited by how they won all the Super Bowls.
Mhm.
You know, because of
Okay.
how Jerry ran things. And so he's been disappointed with Jerry for a long time.
Also, Troy's really in touch with the reputation of actions, I think, of what the Cowboys do and how they could permeate throughout the league. He talks to a lot of people, right? I think he thought that Mike McCarthy was coming back. He was very confident about that. He said so. I think even until Friday, from people I talked to, there was at least positivity towards, hey, we might start a negotiation Monday, even though a lot of other people thought it was just a matter of time and running out the clock. But if he thinks that there's positivity towards a new deal and then Mike McCarthy gets turned around Monday, oh, hey, by the way, we're not even going to negotiate, let's just part. That has a reputation permeation kind of effect, I think, on the league. And when Troy says, hey, I don't know if people are going to want to step into this kind of atmosphere where you're going to have to coach on the expiring year of your contract and deal with all the stress of that. You're going to have a roster that wasn't really filled to have the benefit of your success in the final year of that contract. You might have been set up to fail. I don't think a lot of coaches are going to want that situation.
And that's why I agree with Troy. I don't think this is the most coveted job in the NFL anymore. Now, from a stance of what team will get probably the most notoriety, it's been the Cowboys. It's been that way for a long time. I do think that they may lose some steam in the future if they don't get things back to a very high competitive level. But yes, to when Troy says this isn't a coveted job, he talks to people. He reads the room. He understands what coaches are saying behind the scenes and what GMs are saying behind the scenes and what front office people are saying behind the scenes. This isn't. Because to your point, Jeff, if this was such a coveted job, Ben Johnson can go where he wants to go when he wants to go. And anybody would accept him. But he's like, y'all don't align with me. Yeah. And other people aren't running to this job. If this job was so coveted, guys like Bill Belichick would have set out and waited a little bit more. You know, there would have been other coaches who would have diverted their plans to get back to this position and get this job. It's not as coveted. Whatever the Bleacher Report thing was, that can be true as well. But to Troy's point, I agree with him that I don't know if this is the most coveted job in football anymore.
But it is a good job.
Well, I think Bill Belichick would have, if he had any inclination that it was going to be open, he'd have sat and waited. He didn't, there's been reports.
Which is why you're a failure, Jerry.
There's been reports, Seth Wickersham and people have reported that when he went to North Carolina, the reason he took the North Carolina job is because he did reach out to the Cowboys and reach out to teams to see if there was opportunity for him. And he didn't get any indication that there was. That's why he went to North Carolina.
Leave.
Well, I mean, he could, but I don't think he's going to do that.
Why not?
You just want him to leave.
No, you're
trying to get rid of him.
The agenda. You're trying to threaten him, or else. You're trying to.
Or else.
No, if it was such a coveted job that he wanted, he did it before.
Well, I mean, it's nuance here. I mean, he's committed to.
He did that before, didn't he?
Yeah, he's older now.
Didn't he do that before?
He and his girlfriend are
Didn't
in
he commit
Carolina.
to one team and go?
Somebody got to pay $10 million for this one.
You know what I mean?
Someone's got to cut a $10 million check for this one. And he ain't gonna do
But
it.
it's. I mean, the bloom is off the rose to a certain extent. It's not what it once was. But Bill Parcells said it. It's the big room. Okay, after Chan Gailey's, after the Dave Campbell's, Bill Parcells came here because it's the big room
And hated his life for 4 years.
But he came here and he called it the big room. Like Vegas
He
is
also
the big
needs some
room.
money.
Yes, of course, and you would have to pay Bill Belichick and whoever else. But
tell the whole story. Tell the whole story. It was just the Bill Belichick thing was very similar in the sense of what I'm saying. Sorry, Bill Parcells, and it was you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Same thing that Jerry's doing with Deion right now. You want a contract raise on your side of help me get this
You
notoriety.
just got divorced and lost a lot of your money? I need a new building?
Parcells,
Come here, Bill Parcells.
You were broke and she wiped you out.
Yep.
I
need a new building. Shake.
and the same thing would
Tell
happen,
the whole story now.
The same thing would happen with Bill Belichick. He needs a job, and you want to remake your image, and you do it in Dallas. You make the Cowboys Super Bowl winners again. All that comes with that. So notoriety, whatever. It's a high profile job. Okay, just like you talked about.
Very high high profile as it gets.
Just like you talked about the Super Bowl before the break. People still watch the Cowboys and they watch other teams. Okay, the money comes in your pocket off the court, off the field, just like it comes. There's a lot of things that come with this job. That's not changing. That's not changing. And for all the Ben Johnsons, there are a lot of other coaches say, sign me up. I want to be in Dallas.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you started this segment by saying there are some people that would be interested in this, and then other people who have no interest in this. I think there's still people that be interested in this job and think it's a good job. I think you have a starting quarterback that's in place, a franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You have the second highest paid receiver in football. You have arguably one of the best defenders in football.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a core here to build off of. Yes, you don't have necessarily a lot of cap space right now, but that can be changed, as we've discussed here on this show.
It will be.
You have the 12th overall pick. Long story short, this is not the worst job by any means. You got a lot of stuff in place, and I think there are plenty of candidates who would say, hey, you know what? I can go in there and I could start from here rather than starting from ground floor.
I think out of the team, if you're just looking at the rosters and where they are in terms of the players that they have, the money they could spend, the draft capital, like in terms of just trying to win at football, I think the Cowboys is easily the best job out of the head coach openings right now.
Yeah.
Easily. Unless you think Dak is washed.
And if you want to build something, there are some teams that have like $80 million in cap space and a top 5 pick. So
Yeah.
if you want to say, you know what, I want to put my entire spin on it, if you're Ben Johnson.
But if
maybe
you want to win
maybe go
12
there.
games next year, this is the one that gives you the best chance out of all the jobs.
Yeah, and as we talked before the show, and I'm with Troy, and I'm with Troy in the sense that
You have to
because
do work in free agents.
I'm with Troy because of how the Cowboys do business. I'm not excited about the opening. I'm not excited about who they can get. I'm not excited about whoever the Cowboys hire taking this team to where they want to go. It doesn't. We excited about Deion because of the fun factor. But what excites you about this job to say this hire is going to get them to the Super Bowl?
I think Belichick could do that for a lot of people. It wouldn't do it for me, but I think Belichick could do that for a lot of people.
It's also not likely because of you know what I mean?
Right. It's also just
okay. Well, let's put Belichick off the table.
The next coach that is hired for the Dallas Cowboys will be a bridge coach.
But Jerry ain't got time for a bridge.
Yes,
Hey, 82.
Yes, he does. The next
I
coach,
think Jerry's-
the next coach will be you. The next coach won't be the coach that gets you to where you think you're going to get. The next coach will be the coach that whatever they're trying to prove and getting their numbers right in the salary cap.
They're going to get you to the end of Dak.
They're going to get you to the end of
Well,
that.
then you got to start over at quarterback.
And so now you start off. So now what the next coach will have a bunch of cap space,
And a new quarterback.
a new quarterback, potentially a high draft pick, because I don't see this team, if it's in the new form that it's trying to build, getting 12 wins again next year. You'll have some more draft picks. You may even have a top 10 at the end of this thing, depending on how it go. I'm just saying, the next coach is not your forever coach. This is the house that you buy before you buy your forever home.
That's fair. I
Like
mean,
I said, the Cowboys going to be in the same vortex they've been in the last 30 years. And if it's the next coach, we're talking about 4 years down the line, there's no guarantee that guy's going to win because he's starting over, start from scratch.
Yeah.
You don't know, you get a new quarterback. Who's that quarterback going to be? Because there's no guarantee. It could be the Wilson kid out of New York. You don't know who you're going to get.
Oh, you could suck for a long time trying to find quarterbacks. They got so lucky to accidentally find 2 of them. They found an undrafted free agent and then a 4th-round comp.
That's why you
They
draft
looked
one
at
every
the
year.
2 quarterbacks. Yeah, but you don't draft one at the bottom every year to think you're going to find a franchise quarterback.
That's what I would do.
Not thinking you're going to find one,
No,
but just
the-
in
the-
case
the
you
goal
find one.
is-
that could
I
the
would
goal
bring
is
him into
to-
camp every year.
The goal is to find a franchise quarterback. I mean, they lucked in a Dak and Romo. That's not how you find your quarterback.
But I do think to the point of like how much time Jerry has, I would say until recently, I thought the same. Like, you don't have time. They're going to push really hard to be as competitive as they can. Now I think I fall more into the thinking about Jerry, the human side of it, where I think Jerry is more about setting up his family with a good situation. Like, I could push and spend literally cash on signing bonuses, manipulate the salary cap, push as hard as I could. But then if I go, I could be leaving my family in a worse place. Like, I think Jerry thinks more about many things before Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
But is that, and we'll talk more about this later, but is that thought process formulated by the fact that they just haven't gone all in?
I think that helps me arrive at my conclusion.
That's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up next, we're going to visit with our buddy Landon McCool of the LockedOn Cowboys podcast. We'll keep talking Cowboys coaching decisions and hires and who we want and all the things. Please hit the like button while you're here. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you. That's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
How did that song go? The lights is bright and the big and bright. And the
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas.
And if it gets a little bit too bright, get you some Shady Rays.
Oh!
Them Shady Rays on pop. There you go. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays has you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. And if you go to shadyrays.com right now or tomorrow, but we prefer you go right now and do 35%, get 35% off a pair of polarized sunglasses. Use our promo code DLLS, and they will get you right. You can look as cool as Pop does right here. Shady Rays is an independent contract glasses company offering world-class product rated 5-star by over 300,000 people. Their shades have been durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for outdoor activities. Go to shadyrays.com, use the promo code DLLS, get you a pair of shades for 35% off.
Did you steal mine? Those look like mine.
Sir.
We picked the same ones?
Yeah, you picked the same ones.
Come on, man.
Shout out to my friends. Well, I hadn't found mine. I hadn't seen mine in a while. I might have to use their policy. Shout out to our friends at Sleeper, where you need the promo code DLLS Boys, and that will get you the hookup, where you get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest at Sleeper. All you got to do is you're putting your ball knowledge to the test. You're picking whether you think players are going to have more or less than their projected stats each week. Passing yards, touchdowns, receptions, flip it over to different sports, points, rebounds. Sometimes I do goals with a random goalie.
I love that.
Not goals, saves.
Saves.
I do
It's
saves
gotta be
with a
saves.
random goalie in
Gotta be
hockey.
saves.
Yeah. So whatever stats, you're a ball knower, and you combine as many picks as you want. The more picks you combine, the more you win, all the way up to 100 times your money. That's with our friends at Sleeper. New users, download that app. Use the code DLLS Boys to get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. It's operational in over 25 states, including Texas. Check out Sleeper today. All right. Did Pop lose the wager to wear glasses all during the show? I don't know. I haven't crunched the numbers on our.
I definitely think
I
it's
think
me.
you won the island bet.
You
right?
won the island bet. I think I lost.
Well,
Okay,
he's
you
supposed
think-
to dance. He owes us a
Well,
dance.
he owes us
You
a
still
dance,
owe us
and now he has to wear his Shady Rays indoors for a week.
Yep.
Because he lost our playoff picks because he rode with Bo Nix. Pretty sure.
I did.
What island did I win? I won an island.
You won an
Yeah,
island.
you won the island
You
bet.
had someone.
Oh, I'm good at. I know. I football.
Who was? Oh, that's gonna bother me.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's gonna bother me.
We
Kit
good with
Kat.
Landon?
If you're watching,
No, go ahead. Just throw him up there. Throw him up there. Yeah, throw him up there. It's time to chat with our buddy Landon McCool from the LockedOn Cowboys podcast. And right now, I just see a blue. There he is! Oh my God, it's Landon!
I'm here. Hi, folks.
Landon, I'm leading the campaign. We'll do a GoFundMe if we have to. I know that we're not going to win a Super Bowl.
You're gonna make him mad.
I'm trying to get Deion to Dallas.
You're gonna make him mad.
Embrace the. We'll buy a giant circus tent. Like, I'm just here for the content now. Let's do it, baby.
Cirque du Soleil.
Let's go.
You're the little monkey on the end of the string next to the guy grinding the organ, right? Like you're dancing to trying to make sure the circus is happening. Yeah.
I'm the guy
I
strapping
see it.
on a helmet and climbing into the cannon. Go ahead, fire me into the net. Let's get it, baby.
That's right. You're ready for the circus. You're a veteran of it at this point.
Yeah, I love it. You assume no chance at Deion, and you have no interest in Deion, or do you think it would be fun? He might be able to be good at it. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think that Deion's a real chance, mostly because of the $8 million that I'm sure that you guys have brought up in the buyout. That's really the true road barrier there. I also think just on a practical level, what makes Deion a good college coach now is not really translatable to the NFL, right? Like, I think he is a good leader of young men. I think also that's also what he's interested in doing is shaping, college age kids, kids coming out of high school. I don't know that he has interest in coaching, grown men. And like I said, on top of that, I think what makes him special and what's made him work at Jackson State, what's made him work at Colorado is he's a draw. He brings kids to the program that wouldn't normally go to that program. And that's not necessarily a superpower that's translatable to the NFL, I don't think, unless he's bringing some kind of superstar offensive and defensive coordinator. And then maybe, you can kind of talk me into it. But again, that $8 million roadblock is pretty serious.
He put out a generic statement that didn't say anything yes or no, because like in the chat, people are like, he already said no. No, he didn't.
No.
He intentionally didn't say no or yes, and he's going to get a raise out of this. But do you just tell me if this changes your mind? Because Coach Prime tweeted an hour ago. We all have mountains we must climb and trials that we face. You ain't no different than anyone else that God has created.
Amen.
We all share mess that causes us stress.
Come on, Lord.
If we don't exercise our faith and trust God,
Yes.
climb and handle it daily, baby. Go and don't stop. You got this. # Coach Prime. Sounds like he's coming to Dallas. Let's go!
That sounds like an answer to literally any question you can ask him. I mean, you can ask him any question and he can answer with that series of gobbledygook, and it probably would sound epic. But yeah, I don't think he's coming down.
Okay. All right.
Landon, of course, the Deion's going to be topic of discussion, but what direction do the Cowboys go in? Like, the clock is ticking. You got to find a head coach while other teams are looking for a head coach as well. What direction should the Cowboys go into and hit the gas full steam ahead and try to go get their football coach?
What should they head? What direction should they head in, or what direction will they head in? I think are maybe two different things. I think you're completely right. I think they need to get on this quickly. They need to start interviewing folks. The Senior Bowl's coming up. The Shrine Bowl's coming up. You want to have a head coach in place. You want to have some direction for your scouting staff, just to kind of have an idea of the template, the players that you want to work on. These are all things that are reasons why this probably should have been an accelerated process from where it is. But the unfortunate thing is that that's probably not how Jerry's going to operate. Jerry is going to want to interview folks that he's familiar with, or folks that he knows have skins on the wall. So we're going to look at a bunch of retread head coaches. We'll probably get a couple of folks that Jerry is familiar with. I think, as far as the direction that we could possibly hope for is best case scenario that also falls under what the Joneses are likely to do. I don't love what Kellen Moore has done necessarily with Philadelphia. I know, Jesse, I know. But at the same time, like, we're talking about what's likely, what's reasonable. And if you're asking me to choose between taking a chance on Kellen Moore or Ron Rivera round 3, I don't know that that's much of a choice for me. I think I'll take the guy that at least has some unknown to the element of his coaching abilities.
Yeah, historically, every coach Jerry's hired is either been someone he's known, has a relationship with, or a former head coach. That's his stereotype.
A Super Bowl winner.
That's Super Bowl winner. Does anything excite you about this process that whatever they end up with is going to take them to the next level? Because that's the goal to me. It's who's going to get you to the Super Bowl. What excites you about this process, and who they can end up with that's going to get you to the next level?
Clarence, I think you brought up a really great point. And that's I think the people are going to lose track of the fact that the reason that you let go of a frankly pretty good coach who raised the floor on this team. I mean, look, he didn't get us where you wanted them to go, but the reason you let him go is because they hit a ceiling at the divisional round of the playoffs, right? So the answer to the question should be the next person that you hire should be that person to help you break through that ceiling. I mean, I don't see anyone that, that's in this coaching landscape that necessarily screams that, I think that there's certainly some guys that you could take some lateral moves with, some of the retread head coaches that we mentioned. I think if Jerry is willing to try something new, I think you can make an argument that if you give someone like, I don't know, Joe Brady a shot to be a head coach for the first time, or maybe you just do something a little bit less risky and you get a first-time head coach like Todd Monken, right? Who, he's never been a head coach, but he's been around the league and been around college. So he has some experience. So I think if you can choose someone like that who at least brings an element of unknown there, I think maybe you can convince yourself, hey, there's some talent on this team that maybe the formula just kind of all works out and they catch lightning in a bottle and suddenly they catch fire. But it's hard to make that same argument when you're talking about rehiring, someone else's rewarmed head coach, and it feels like you may be just playing out the same sort of story that you played out with Mike McCarthy when you hired him.
Landon, we're just over the 24-hour mark of the head coaching search. We've already had a Deion, will he, won't he, maybe kind of saga last night and into today. I was told, buckle up, there's a lot of potential names out there. But I think one thing we kind of keep all thinking is it could eventually lead us back to Kellen Moore. I'm going to give you a tough task here. Give me your best argument.
Sell me, baby.
Sell me on Kellen Moore and what could give you some belief that he could take you to the next level.
All right. Well, the first thing I have to do is destroy all your hope. Because the first thing I have to do is tell you, let's be realistic about who the Joneses are going to hire. All right. And now that you've ingested that and you've knocked away all the Ben Johnsons and all of the candidates who we'd ultimately love to be our head coaches, but it's just not going to happen. And you look at the realistic, list of coaches that are still left that kind of fit the criteria that we know Jerry is going to follow when he's hiring these head coaches. I think, to me, Kellen Moore is the guy in that list that at least provides some unknown, some excitement. I love the aspect. The thing I love about Kellen Moore is his willingness to kind of constantly try new things. If you remember when he was the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, one of the things that they would do is they had a meeting where they would break down college and NFL tape and just look at trends and see what different play callers are doing all across the league and in college. And then they would try to incorporate some of that. It feels like the problem with the Cowboys offense is that it got stale under Mike McCarthy. I don't know that will necessarily be the issue with Kellen Moore. There'll be a whole other set of issues if Kellen Moore is your head coach. But I think at the very least, what you can hope for is that you're going to get a solid offense that is going to be in sync with each other. The last time this Cowboys offense really looked like a juggernaut, truly, not just, the numbers telling us that they're number one offense. The last time they truly looked like a juggernaut offense was when Dak was healthy and Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator. So that's the best sell job I can hope. Maybe he brings in someone like Brandon Staley to come in to be your defensive coordinator. They have a relationship there. That's, I think, your best bet for a realistic shot at something slightly newer or slightly different than, the kind of same old retreads that we've been getting these last few times we've had a head coach.
It was a good sell.
Landon McCool from the LockedOn Cowboys podcast. If the Cowboys use the 12th overall pick on Ashton Jeanty, will you be thrilled or furious that they picked a running back in the first round?
In between. I will be thrilled that the player is on our team. I'll be mad at the process.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Thanks, Landon. Have a great day. We appreciate you, brother.
See you soon.
I push back on Kellen Moore to make more creative. People in Philadelphia are mad at Kellen Moore's offense. Lack of creativity, lack of route running. We talked about that.
I think it's directly related to his quarterback.
We talked about that when he was here. Kellen Moore, creativity. Last time we saw him here, he had Zeke at center.
Well, that was awesome.
Creative.
That was the last play of the
That's
game.
creative.
Stop it.
That's super creative.
That's outside the box.
Nobody's thinking about that.
Stop it.
They never saw it coming.
They're supposed to run a lateral play. You're getting more lateral options on the field for a lateral play. Like, that makes sense. In desperation mode, that makes sense.
We talked about guys not getting open when Kellen Moore was here, running stop routes and everything else.
You better get ready, Clarence.
Same thing they talk about in Philadelphia now.
I'm going to tell you guys
and
a real
undo
secret.
the quarterback.
I'm going to tell you guys a secret.
Get you a good book, CD.
Clarence doesn't want Kellen Moore because Clarence cares more about the press conference.
No.
Clarence is here for
Moore's
content.
going to be boring.
Yeah, he's here for the content. He wants good press conferences. That's why that was the first thing that made me like McCarthy. It was like, oh, God, there's a real person up there.
Yeah.
Because when Jason Garrett was answering questions, I was like, guys, I don't need to hear or see this. I know what he's going to say, whatever the corporate line would be. Mike would actually make words, which I appreciate. As I said, bring me Deion.
One thing that came out has been reported that Mike Zimmer's contemplating retirement, which is not a surprise. Got a new woman.
What do you say, Jesse? Are you thinking about?
Got a new
I'm
woman.
thinking about retirement.
Start thinking about retirement.
You're already there.
You're retired.
My boy's tired, man.
Remember what Micah said? I think he's ready to ride off into the sunset.
He's tired, man. He's tired, and that new shipment of Blue Chew gonna be at his front door before he knows it.
They do keep sending it too. I tell you what. yeah.
That new shipment of Blue Chew.
I can bring you some. I can bring you
Blue
some.
Chew gonna be at the door.
Let me
And he gonna be
sample the
knocking
product.
the stuffing out the muffins.
You act like Clarence. We don't have a promo code that gets you a free first month, but I'll still bring you some blue. I'll bring you some blue chew.
Try yours first.
I'll get you squared away.
Try his Blue Chew? He wants to try your
He
Blue
ain't gonna pass that physical.
I pass physical, sir.
There's no
Guilty.
physical. There ain't no physical.
All right.
Ain't no physical. The one thing about this entire process that's going to drive me bonkers that's not a rant is coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Cap.
That's no cap. If you like this shirt that Jesse's wearing, that's pretty sweet. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button while you're here. We sure would appreciate it. If you are here and you're watching our show, we appreciate you. If you're in the chat every day, we love you. If you're hitting the like button and you're subscribed, we love you. if you're wanting to step it up a touch, God, you got some muscles.
Yeah,
bro.
Jesus.
Be lifting?
Did you play professional sports?
How come my 8s aren't doing that?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
It don't matter how many times you curl an 8. I can't
What
get
are we
that.
doing?
I got to get bigger numbers.
An 8 ounce?
What?
Are you talking about 8 ounces?
No, I got 8-pound weights.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 8 ounces.
I do a lot of reps though. I do a lot of reps. And
Hey,
I'll do
that's why you get cut.
Yeah.
That's why you get cut.
Okay, that's bulking season. Jesse's looking kind of big, kind of fat.
And you're only drinking
little
water?
thick.
Yeah, you see that?
Jesus.
Anyway, sign up to be a diehard.
Look. Hey, Schulenberg. Hey, Schuh. And they don't got it like that down in
Yeah, they do.
Schulenberg,
Yeah,
baby.
stop
Let's
it.
come
Stop
from
it.
Roselle, baby. This
Stop
is
it.
Roselle's finest,
Stop
baby.
it. Stop it.
This
Stop it.
Roselle.
Stop it. Stop it.
Wow, this
Stop
Jersey
it.
finest, baby. They don't
Stop
make
it.
it like
Stop
that
it.
down in
Stop it.
Schulenberg.
Yes, stop it. Stop
Hey,
it.
look
Why
how,
is Schulenberg catching stray?
boom.
What did
Stop it.
Schulenberg
Look
do?
how it fit that shirt. Look how it fit that DLL shirt. Listen,
Stop it. Stop it.
What
Stop it.
size? What
Stop
size
it.
is
this
that?
is XL. You could get the shirt.
Jesus.
These come sold separately, baby. They don't make these down in
They
Schulenberg, baby.
make them
They
everywhere.
don't got
They
this.
make them everywhere.
This is Roselle,
Just-
USA,
just
baby.
work it out.
It's Roselle,
Work it
USA, baby. Jersey, stand up. 908, Union County.
I don't think there's anything genetically about the state of Jersey.
It had nothing to do with that.
But anyway, sign up to be a diehard. You get an ad-free experience on the website. You get access to all of our premium content. We got draft stuff coming. We got events coming that you'll get 20% off of. You get a free T-shirt when you sign up. You can choose that one, or you can choose a different one from our merch
Hey,
store.
these come separately, though, baby. They're 41 years old right here.
She gets, shout out to Michael. I think
Yeah.
Michael said he signed up, became a diehard today. So
Oh,
appreciate that.
yeah. Hey, Mike, these don't come with the shirt, baby. You got to get
20%
these
off
Became
in
the
a
the
merch.
merch.
diehard today. So shout out to
Michael,
him.
it's on the merch store. Go check it out. It's on there.
Anyway,
Also, read our stuff. We have a lot of diehard content coming about the coaching stuff. We're going to have a lot of rumors and things to come, a lot of little tidbits. So check that out.
I got two things. I got one is
I
the
got
guy
two?
is the guy I think I want.
Okay.
That I think is maybe realistic unless Jesse shoots it down for the one reason. And then the other thing,
I'll say Super Chat aligns with that, I
the
think.
super chat absolutely is aligned with what I'm going to talk about. Would they consider Aaron Glenn familiar? He played here.
Yes.
So Aaron Glenn, I think, is the closest thing to do you think it could happen and you would like it? Aaron Glenn would be my guy. Defensive coordinator for Detroit. Their defense is butt right now, but that's not his fault. They lost all their players. But I think that's a dude that has a handle on leadership, calling defenses, played in the league, has been here, has the familiarity current about the guys in the NFL that would give him trouble when he's calling plays against, could take a Ben Johnson friend from a staff with him and make him an OC. Aaron Glenn is my number one seed for I could see it and I would really like it.
Okay, one thing that we have to consider because of the rotten process, okay, the Cowboys cannot interview Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson until after the season ends.
Yeah, that's
So that
my-
means if they go all the way to the Super Bowl,
Yeah, that's
the
my-
Cowboys cannot interview Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson until February 10th.
Yeah, well, that's my
After the Senior
Well,
Bowl.
he's not going to take a job.
And
in
this
there
is
for
why
2
you
years.
shouldn't have wasted time.
Well,
If
that's
you were
it,
going to
right.
make this decision,
Yeah.
you should have
They
did it when
cannot-
they were on the bye
So-
week. You could have interviewed them when they were on the bye
Not
week,
even-
but you wasted time. You wasted precious time. You always talk about you don't have a short time for a good time or a good time for a long time or however the hell it goes. This is why you should have made this decision at Thanksgiving. You knew you wasn't going to bring that man back. I don't know why you played in our face. I don't know why you played in their face. You know good and damn well that Mike McCarthy's at the end of this season, this thing was over. You were going to try to give him some hamburger helper type deal that he was not going to accept, even though he likes snacks. I'm sure Mike McCarthy will tear down a good bowl of hamburger helper or two. I'm not saying that you're
Man,
greedy, Mike McCarthy.
man.
I like hamburger helper too, but it's not going to pay the bills. You knew this, Jerry, and you wasted time. You wasted valuable time that you or I don't have. You see these grays? My hairline's not coming back anytime soon. And the more you stress me out with wasting this time, don't look at me, Pop, because your hairline's not coming back either. So I'm just saying, stop
Man.
wasting time. You're
saying.
killing yourself. You're killing your team. You're killing this fan base. These questions should have already been answered. This thing should have already been done. The interview should have happened while the window was there, but you wanted to waste time and take your sweet time. We don't have that, my boy. We got to get this thing going now. Meow. No waste no more time because this is the opportunity that you could have had to even interview Aaron Glenn to see if you even liked him. I don't think you would hire him for my own reason why you wouldn't hire him, but maybe talk to the man. He could have given you some insight on what you may have wanted for a new head coach. He could have been that new face that you met with that's kind of outside your friend zone, outside your organization, and maybe he could have said, hey, Aaron, how'd that thing happen over there in Detroit, USA? Can you bring a little bit over here? Maybe, maybe not. But you wasted time, and we didn't get to it, and that's why I stay pissed off about this football team.
Yeah.
But guys, they had to evaluate Mike McCarthy.
Well, can we just take a second?
No. But they had to evaluate Mike after the season.
Look at you. Look at you.
Oh, am I the one that knocked my mic out when Jesse was the one? You probably did it with all your gesticulation.
Gesticulation?
Yeah, that's a word. Gesticulating?
Cap, no way.
That sounds nasty.
Yeah. Look up gesticulation.
Oh my gosh. Use
Gesticulate?
gestures, especially dramatic ones, instead of speaking or emphasize one's words.
Sounds nasty.
Allen, Texas, stand up.
That's right.
Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian.
Who needs Bible classes when we dropping gesticulation like that?
Somebody needs to get on the Allen, Texas Wikipedia page because I am not listed under notable people
You
from
can
Allen.
do it yourself.
Oh, I'm going to put myself in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm way more notable than some of those people. But I just think you need to give a second to breathe.
Kyler.
Because that was nice.
That was nice.
That was nice, Jesse. You did.
My
you curly.
boy's Kyler's finest. My boy's Kyler.
I'm better than Kyler.
Stop it.
Whoa.
Stop.
I'm better than Kyler.
It was.
The greatest high school player of all
His
time?
family's harder to deal with.
Well, yeah, but that,
I'm taller.
Stop
you are taller.
Stop it. That's it.
Are you good at Call of Duty?
That's it. That's the list.
I would crush him at
No,
Call
you
of
would not
Duty.
crush him
That's
at
it,
Call of
that's
Duty.
I need 3 weeks to
Kyler
get back
Murray
in the
is
game.
elite at double XP weekends. There's no way.
I need 3 weeks to get back in the game, but I would crush him at any shooter game.
Get them
I'm a
super
monster.
chats out of there.
We got some super
we got
chats.
lots of-
Oh, okay, oh yeah, let's hit these super chats.
We talked about
Vance, why do I sense this Mike McCarthy Dallas story is going to get ugly pretty soon? Say on Thursday. I think that is very possible that you'll start getting things from each camp about why it didn't happen or whatever. And what you'll get is indirectly leaked to people thoughts from each side. If one side has something to say, then the other side will have let me tell somebody that.
Like, and we ripped Jerry for not allowing him to talk to Chicago last week. He's going to talk to him tomorrow. Do we really think Mike's going to get a job? Let's be honest. I don't think he's going to get a job.
I think it's possible.
My guess is no.
Where?
New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah. I think New Orleans is possible.
I could see him getting the New
I
Orleans.
see Glenn in New Orleans if not with the Jets.
Glenn's going to be the Cowboys.
He can't talk till February 10th.
Back,
going to
back
the Super
channels,
Bowl.
though.
So he's not
Back
going anywhere
channels.
else till February 10th. I mean,
so
that's,
what are we going to be doing till February 10th?
and that was
We're going to be chilling.
Jerry
was
will
the
give
thing,
us
and
plenty of fodder to talk
Jesse
about.
said it with way more passion, and it was great. But like, it's the clearest example of how inept the guy who runs your team is. That 31 teams do things a certain way when it's time to do things. You're the one who doesn't. That's inept.
But you scream
And it's
at
also-
us about how much you want to get things done and how
Right.
much you want to do these things.
But it's also, this is going to be another sign of ineptitude. It's very possible that all these people that other people are interviewing aren't the one that you're going to hire
100%.
because you're inept. Like, he's going to hire somebody that no one else wants to hire. And so it's like, he'll then be able to spin to you like, we didn't have to be in a hurry because we knew our guy.
Jason Witten.
And your guy was somebody that no one else would dream of giving a head coaching job
Jason
to.
Witten.
That is how inept the guy running the team is. And I will tell you, I'm starting to feel bad about using words like inept with Jerry constantly when they're 100% true because he's 82. And like, that is a natural human thing. And so like, I don't want to be mean about, hey, you're super old. But I got news for you about what happens when you get super old. Stuff gets harder. Keeping stuff in order gets harder.
Not everything.
Remembering things gets hard. Well, Blue Chew. Like, you can fix that. That's not a problem.
You're right. Shout out to
But it's just,
Shut up.
that's how inept they are, that any other team with a head coaching opening would have been interviewing people when they were allowed to during a playoff bye week. Only the Cowboys. And the only reason, which again, anytime you're asked to formulate a Cowboys opinion, I would ask you to start from Jerry Jones' ego is the size of Uranus, the planet. If you start from that point, you can then understand everything. So how did this happen? The answer is Jerry Jones assumed because the world revolves around Jerry Jones. Mike McCarthy will take whatever I give him.
I think he thought he'd take Mike. Mike
McCarthy will take whatever I give
Because
him.
Mike McCarthy talked fondly about his daughters living here and wanting to be here and family living it here.
He's going to take whatever I give him. And I'm with Clarence. I don't think McCarthy's going to get a job. And in Jerry's mind, I think he thinks that. And so it's like, well, he's going to have to take this because this is what he's got.
Yeah.
And I can block an interview and buy another week where he can't go try to get another job, and I can kind of be a jerk.
And Mike thought the opposite.
Wait him out.
Yeah,
and Mike thought the opposite, which is why they separated.
Right. And Mike has, even if he's not going to get a job, just I guess enough pride that he was like, that's not a head coaching offer. Like that's not what a head coaching offer looks like. So you're not serious about wanting me, and so I'm not serious about talking to you. But yeah, I think you got here because Jerry Jones' ego is used to I will get whatever I want, despite the fact, and here's a problem about not learning. Despite the fact that every time you think you're going to get whatever you want in a negotiation, you end up bent over. And then you bitch about how cap-strapped you are because you got bent over again because you thought, well, that is not what I wanted to give him, so we'll just wait a little longer. How about you don't like that, do you? And the player's like, I love that. I'm going to be filthy rich at the end of this.
And
so it sucks. It sucks to have the inept guy.
And the thing about Jerry is, like in most of his negotiations, he's probably going to come back to the point where, what Mike was asking for, I'm going to have to pay this next guy the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
What's he going to come back to is like now, and I shouldn't have gotten rid of Chan Gailey. I really regret getting rid of Chan Gailey 5 years now. Man, I should have kept Mike McCarthy.
That's why I'm telling you.
I shouldn't have got rid of Mike McCarthy. I should have kept
Mike
McCarthy.
He said until Mike McCarthy gets another job.
That's why I'm telling you.
He's going to come back with those regrets. We know.
I don't think it's impossible that after Mike doesn't get a job, he calls back. I don't think it's impossible that after he doesn't get a job, he calls back and he's like, hey, that really incredibly embarrassing offer, can I get 30 more bucks? I mean, Jerry, look, you screwed up the process. You don't have nobody either. Like, what do you think? We could settle for each other. I think it's possible.
We're going to finish out the super chat.
What are we not done yet? We did that one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Deion is the quickest way to get rid of Dak by drafting Shedeur 12th via cut or trade. You bench Dak and watch him waive that no trade clause. If you traded Dak, it would cost you over $100 million against the salary cap.
Happening.
It's not happening. Dak will be here for the next 2 years, bare minimum.
Right.
So in theory, you could have him. Sure, you could have him watch an inferior quarterback in Shedeur play football, but that would be a weird plan. Do y'all like Tomlin? I do. I like Tomlin.
Yeah, we like Tomlin.
How are we gonna get him?
They're not. You have to trade for him. That's not happening.
You're not giving up picks for him.
I wish the Rams sucked. I wish they didn't bounce back as quick as they did.
And McVay,
I'd trade a first rounder for Sean McVay in a blink.
Yeah, I said that a couple weeks ago, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I would give a first round pick right
now." Who said? What are you talking about today? That makes sense.
The Twitter world, not y'all.
Jesse has a lot.
That's a good take.
Jesse has a lot of really good takes.
Oh,
and then sometimes, I don't remember them because I have a bad memory. But then eventually I'll remember. That was a good take.
No, that wasn't a shot at you. I was just saying, like, when I said it a couple weeks ago, people were like, they called me crazy.
It's okay if it was.
No, I would. Trust me, you know me well enough.
Yeah,
if I was taking a shot at you,
you would have pointed.
This isn't going to be a sniper move. It's going to be right up on you.
Blunt force trauma.
You're going to know I'm talking to you.
I
do you, bro.
Yeah. Sean McVay might beat the Eagles next week.
Yeah, he might. I also think by the time we meet again
tomorrow. I think he
tomorrow,
does beat the Eagles next week.
Yeah. I also think by the time we meet again tomorrow, some news is going to pop about us, and then we're going to lead the show with that tomorrow.
Well, yeah, tomorrow it's going to be, is Steve Harvey going to be the head coach of the Dallas? Like, it's going to be. Oh, wait, is he gone? Is he gone?
Steve Harvey? No, he's still here.
No, he's still
okay.
You think he's dead?
I wonder why the reaction.
Because, I mean, come on.
Steve Harvey.
He's thinking about Jason Witten.
Yeah.
That's a good
Like, if we're just doing people that we think are cool.
Well, Jason wouldn't play football.
I bet Steve Harvey played football.
No.
At
He
some
lives
point.
here, though. He has a
show me $5 million.
Yeah. I mean, if we just want to have people we like
he has a ranch here.
Leave in the comments on this video who's a person you really like. Like, we can hire him. He could be the head coach.
Oh, Jeff, you lost a card.
What?
Just lost his black card.
Jeff lost his black card.
Why? Because I didn't know if Steve Harvey was alive? I thought from the reaction he might be dead.
I didn't know.
I'm not good at alive or dead games. I'm not good at that. All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks for kicking it with us on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We'll be back tomorrow because we do this every day. Make sure you're subscribed. Remember, You have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
Or else, not a threat.
We all silly like the mayor.